Hello and good evening. This is Doc Severson for the ReadySetCrypto Premium Newsletter Market Update for Tuesday, January 8th. Let's take a quick spin around the crypto markets. Again, we have Bitcoin is just completely coiled up and about ready to move. So I very much doubt that this will make it to the weekend without seeing some significant movement. So again, we don't know whether or not it's going to move above or below the current range. Either way could work. Right now, this does remind me of a bear flag. So what we want to do is, actually, we have both of these trend line alerts. You know, actually, what I can do is I can move this upper one up here, and I'm going to change that trend line alert to be, yep, we're all good to go. So if it breaks above this level, I want to know about this because this may be putting in a higher low, higher high. This could be good news, maybe, for the short term. Otherwise, we would expect the higher probability move to continue to break to the downside because that's where the larger trends are. As I've talked about the last few days, we do have some coins that are starting to move, like Litecoin is starting to put in higher lows, higher highs. This is a daily uptrend now. That's a good thing. Reversals start from the inside out. We've been in a daily downtrend for as long as I can remember here, and now this is reversed to a daily uptrend. However, that's not the end of the story. To get to the bigger picture, we have to go out to a larger time frame, and oh, now it kind of puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? It's like that's not that impressive yet. It certainly has to get above $50 on the swing up to consider this to be a higher high. I've got about 30 minutes left in the trading day before we're going to start to print new daily candles. So let's look around here. Let's see if anything is moving. NEO, how about that? After a long, hard winter, and we can see this by looking at the weekly chart. Boy, is this brutal. This was one of our rock stars a year ago, and it's just been thrown under the bus. And we're starting to see a weekly swing coming up. This is good. So again, obviously we need to get this thing above and beyond about 3,000 sats to take this one seriously. And it's recharging very quickly. That's good. All of that is good. So for right now, starting to get a little bit of attention. We're starting to see a little bit of a higher high, higher low movement. That's all good, but it's a very, very early start to this. Now, we do have some good news. This is Tron. We've been watching Tron here the last couple of days, and Tron's just breaking out, right? So from this consolidation, range contraction leads to range expansion. Range expansion leads to exhaustion. So we don't want to chase this one up here, but it should base out into the next coil, whether that's going to be a bull flag or some type of little pennant pattern like this one was. Now let's get the bigger picture on this one by going out to the weekly chart. What's this showing? Okay, so really what we're seeing is we're just seeing the next weekly swing up. Now, for us to get this, to take this seriously, we can trade within the weekly swing, although this is already down at exhaustion. So this is not something we want to just jump on because the probabilities that this will continue are starting to fade at this point, especially with a weekly chart down in the 30s. That's not something you typically want to take long. So what do we want to see from this one? So if we look at the average swing length on these is all about kind of the same. We did have some basing here, but everything was basing as we got into the fall. And so the average swing is going to be somewhere in this area. So we might see this consolidate for a few weeks here, then get one final shot to the upside. That would be a nice swing. And then more than likely, we're going to see this thing fall back down again at some point. Now, if that's able to put in and print, as I say, a higher low, higher high, there you go. This is what we're looking for. This is what we're looking for. For those of you that are looking for longer term buy-ins, yeah, you can, cut your fingers by trying to catch this sort of noise down here, or you might think that this is lifting off. But quite honestly, I think it's going to be difficult. The next few months are going to be difficult for the investor class because we're going to get a lot of chop and volatility while markets base out. So Tron is the rock star for the week for right now. Be interesting to see if this does get whack-a-moled back down, just like every other asset that dares to expand to the upside lately. Okay, a couple of other ones here that we have. VeChain, no. Here is Zilliqa. Zilliqa is actually looking pretty good. We have an alert on this one. If it breaks above that alert, we may want to know about that. A little bit of energy left on this one. Be interesting to see. Now, normally on something like this, when we have a basing pattern this big, if it breaks above there, a lot of times you'll see shorts scurrying for cover, and you'll see a big breakout from this. That could still occur. That may still be in the works here. Again, if you look out to the weekly chart, pretty big base here. Obviously a lot of room for this thing to run if it's able to get above there. A lot of weekly energy. A lot of things to like about Zilliqa right now. All right, looking at our swing trade portfolio to wrap things up here, let's go back to the daily chart. And there's really only one that's worth bringing up today, which is Chainlink. So Chainlink did really great work here with this swing to the upside. So let's pull out to the weekly chart. Let's see how this one looks. This is kind of what we're talking about. So this is an extended base, and we're starting to expand to the upside. We're starting to see accumulation and expansion to the upside. This is all very, very good. Let's go down to the daily chart. So from this big swing to the upside, it led to exhaustion at the weekly chart, went into a corrective pattern for several weeks. The Ellioticians will be screaming out ABC correction. So there we go. There's wave 1, wave 2. Here's wave 3. Okay, maybe wave 4. This is all kind of compressed though. This one was much longer than this. So we'll see whether or not we're able to get anything from this. But this is the next consolidation. And if we're able to let this consolidate back up and then maybe break out above this, we may have a swing on Chainlink coming up. It's been slim pickings for swings lately, but if you're patient and if you watch these things and if you set up your alerts and are there at the right time, you can certainly participate in some nice swings and start looking for value. If you want to be a longer term investor holding something, you can start to look for those weekly swings changing to higher lows and higher highs. That's it for today's video, folks. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow night.